Hello everyone and welcome to my raised bed special. Now raised beds offer you so many benefits. First of all, they look aesthetically pleasing. Aesthetics isn't everything, of course, but they also drain better, so better than just a soil bed at ground level. So yeah, they drain better, they warm up a lot quicker in the spring and hold the heat in there. And you can also choose the medium that you're growing in. Here I've got this full of compost because these are no dig. You can also choose the materials you want to make it out of. You could use this wrinkly tin stuff to build them out of, and a lot of people do that, or even these flagstones stood up on end. And I've even seen slates used before, just put into a trench, old roof slates, which, you know, if somebody's getting the roof stripped on a house local to you, before they throw them in the skip and break them, take them off them, and you can line them up and you can build a raised bed out of them. But in the main, I would say a very high percentage of used timber, and these are old or reclaimed scaffold boards. And I've painted these with a spirit-based preservative, much better than a water-based ones. Water-based ones put a cover on and eventually crack and peel off, and then the water wet gets in. Spirit-based soaks in and then preserves the wood that way. And you'll notice I've also got plastic on. It's lipped over the top here, over the top, and it goes down the sides to the bottom. And at the very bottom of this board on the inside, it comes inside 2 inches just to push the water away. And the reason is because this compost in here will stay wet all year round, and wet soil against the timber will eventually rot it regardless of whatever preservative, because it's constantly wet, and molds and things will set in and start to rot them. So you just extra protect them. I've used DPM plastic here, but you can use old compost bags, anything you've got to hand. So that covers the making of them. I prefer to keep my beds level. These are all level, because you can, if you angle them, the water's going to run off to one end. If you keep them level, you keep all your water, a nice even watering, and if you put any structures on top, they will also be level, straight and true as well. Now as I pan over these beds, you'll see I've got the big hot box polyframe there, and that's sized to fit in these beds. All these beds are exactly the same size, so all my protection can be swapped, moved around wherever's needed that year. So having the beds all the same size is ideal. As I pan down here, you can see I've got my carrot box down here, and even these lengths of blue MDPE pipe are all the same size, again to fit these beds, so I can move these around and either throw some netting over or some plastic. So do make them all the same size as you can, keep them level, and then fill them with whatever you want to fill them with. These frames are very simple. If I just point to here, this is the end of this long frame here, and this is the start of the next one, and these are just actually screwed together, or you can use bolts and wing nuts, but they can be taken apart and stored flat. These have got a mesh on it, a veggie mesh, because I use these for my carrots. But again, nice and simple, easy to move around. I can pick them up, one of those frames, and move it to wherever it needs to be. Now, when I put these first 8 beds in, I didn't have any other raised beds on the plot apart from in the polytunnels, and I was almost gifted, it didn't cost me much, to buy all these scaffold boards for this side, and I had enough timber to build the 8 beds, so I squashed them all together. So the thing I'm left with is there is a foot gap to walk in. Now that's enough for me to get in, and I'm able to reach into the centre of the beds so I can get around them and plant them. It's not ideal, it's not brilliant. I should have gone 1 bed less and gone with a bigger space, but I was greedy and they've worked. Now let's move over to this side. These are better spaced, and I'm going to show you now how I measure and how I think it's best to measure. There is no ideal bed size for a raised bed, it's what you can reach, and I'll show you why just now. So ideally, if you can, you want to work comfortable on your beds. Quite often that means kneeling down. So what I've done here is I've measured the distance between the back of my feet and here, just like that, to get that, and that's a 22-inch distance, and that's enough for me to get in here. I'm the only person working this plot, but you probably want to do that with all your family members. Just measure the distance, so make sure it's comfortable for everybody, and then take a stick and whatever's comfortable for you to reach to, measure that distance and then multiply it by 2, and you've got your perfect bed size, your perfect kneeling size for your whole family and your whole plot. There are many people who would recommend, the majority of people recommend 4 foot, some recommend 5, some recommend 6, some even recommend 3. But if you measure this way, then you're going to get the perfect size for you and your family moving forward. These are 46 inches wide and the space is 22 inches, meaning over a run, or one bed and one path, I say 4 inches for the next one. So it's beneficial to do, and it means that you can comfortably plant all there while you're sat comfortably. So along with all those benefits already discussed, if you choose your soil medium, and as I say, I'm here, no dig, and that gives me even more benefits on the top of the fact that I've got raised beds. So I get all the warming, get all the drainage, but no dig offers the benefits of much better growing, fantastically easy weeding, so it cuts down on the work time so much, and you get more of the pleasure time, more of the planting, more of the harvesting, without all the efforts of digging up your soil. So, I mean, I had onions, I think it was either this bed or this one I'm sat on actually, last summer. It also drastically cuts down on the watering that you need to do. And that's got to be a good thing. I mean, considering last year we had a drought, I watered my onions in this bed, and I never watered them again until harvesting, and I had an absolutely fantastic crop. And I'll flash up something on the screen just so you can see them. So just watered them in, left them, didn't do anything else with them, just let them get on with it, just weeded out, and the weeds just pull out so easily. It's ridiculously easy really, after years and years of digging, and this is why I've got no dig. I also have another 6 out the back. So with better drainage, faster soil warming in the spring, the qualities of no dig as well, if you would choose to go that way, just why wouldn't you go with a raised bed? They're aesthetically pleasing too, and you've got all your protection, all the same size, ready to go on any bed, and it means you can move your crops around year to year or grow flowers in between, and you've got everything ready to go. Doesn't get any better than that. So there we go, that's my take on raised beds. I hope you enjoyed that and got something from it, and I'll see you on the next one very soon. Look after yourselves, stay safe. Ta-ra now.